Bitcoin. It's breaking financial markets. It's actually insane to see the relative strength of Bitcoin. I mean, knock on wood. Knock on wood. It's more wood. That's more wood over here. And knock on that. Okay, knock on all the wood. Relative strength so far compared to the insanity we're seeing in the equity markets. It's very interesting. We're going to be talking about what's going on with the equity markets, what's going on with the trade war. I know, equity markets and trade war. What the hell is this channel be? What has this channel become? Lark, come on. Talk about magic internet coins, man. We're going to talk about those too. Bitcoin, a few altcoin charts. Fart coin. It's going to be a good day. Guys, let's get into it. So first and foremost, obviously, financial system currently melting down, but hey guys, Bitcoin's over $80,000. Screw it. We ball. Let's go. I love it. You love it too. The S&P 500 yesterday, bit of a volatile day. Freaked everybody the F out, man. Went down 6% in total from the previous day, man. And then it recovered a little bit. It was just wild, man. All this stuff happens, by the way, after I log out for the day. You know, in an hour's time, I just go and spend time with my family and enjoy my life. Oh, no. Effing equity markets have to open up. Donald Trump starts tweeting some bullshit out. Anyway, everybody lost their effing minds over this yesterday on social media, but realistically, we are still well up, of course, from the low here at 4,800. And of course, from, well, the pump itself, we're still doing pretty good, okay? We're up from the low of the pump, the 10% mega god candle in the SPX. Now, of course, everybody's out there calling for, well, this is just the beginning of the end. It's all going to go to zero. New mega lows coming in. This is the new Great Depression, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let's see. Deals need to be made. The tariff tensions need to be ratcheted down. We got some news on that for you here in a minute, though. But yeah, that's where we are right now for the charts. China has just raised additional tariffs on the USA up from 84% to 125%. It said, given the current level of tariffs, U.S. goods have no chance of being accepted by the Chinese market. If the U.S. further imposes additional tariffs, China will ignore it. So American tariffs are 145. China's 125. I mean, I'm just looking at it like, Donald, just go strong today, man. Come out with like 1,000% tariffs. Why F around 1,000% tariffs on all Chinese goods? You know, let's just make up silly numbers right now. 972% tariffs. It's crazy. Anyway, that was announced. The S&P 500 futures are actually up. So you can see S&P 500 futures were climbing. China news comes out. We got down to about -1%, and now we're back up to about plus 0.65%. So markets generally shrugging it off. We've seen so much bullshit go on with tariffs that the markets, even when we have crazy news like that, the market's just kind of like, whatever, man, I guess more tariffs news. Screw it, man. It's long Bitcoin, long fart coin to the moon. Jamie Coots saying, updating the signal I posted yesterday, the move on the 9th generated a breadth thrust signal that rarely happens in the S&P 500, an 11-month low followed by a 97% breadth up thrust as measured by the number of advancing stocks in the index. Previous occasions for this signal marked cycle lows in the S&P 500, 2018, 2020, 2022, but failed in November 2008. Market declined another 24% before the bottom of March 2009. All contemporary instances generated abnormally high returns for the S&P 500 with a mean of 17% over the next 90 days. In all but the 2008 instance, the S&P 500 was positive by day 26 after the signal. Fascinating. Now, if you believe that it's effing, if you believe it's fucking over and we're all going to go to zero and this is going to be the worst year ever and a new Great Depression, wow, man, what are you even doing watching crypto videos, man? You're in totally in cash. You're out of everything. You're maybe in gold, bonds. Bonds been crazy. Anyway, what's interesting with this is that if you believe that we're not heading into the new major financial crisis, and we could be, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of shit that's going crazy and breaking right now. We're going to talk about that in just a second here. But in every case except 2008, the S&P 500 was positive 3 weeks after the signal. Now, what is happening over the next month that could see markets be good? Deals start coming in for the tariff stuff, okay? China and America probably agree to sit down to a talk, but other deals actually get made. Canada, they came out and said yesterday, like if America, they said we will drop all tariffs tomorrow if America agrees to. Great deal. Take it, Donald. Remains to be seen if it will. But fantastic. Really good stuff. Progress is being made, okay? Meetings are being had. Great, okay? Global M2 pumping, rate cuts coming, dollar index dropping, okay? Very interesting. 6 months leading up to September 1998 now look the most similar to the last 6 months for the S&P 500 versus all 6-month periods in its history. That was when we had the Asian financial crisis, and the world was literally ending, by the way. Russian default, world was literally ending. The LTCM blow-up, don't even know what that is. I'm sure the world was literally ending at the time as well. All in the middle of the dot-com boom, much like we have this happening right now in the middle of the AI boom. Well, you think AI is just going to disappear tomorrow? F no, man. AI is going to go way crazier than anybody thinks over the next 5 to 10 years. Not saying it's going to be up only during that time, but, bond markets are still breaking today, continuing their slow grind up here. US 10-year back to 4.45% after being under 4% just like 3 days ago, man. That's crazy shit. Kyle from Milk Road saying the dollar index just nuked to the bottom of its multi-year range. Financial conditions are loosening very fast. If/when the trade war ends. If, not when. All right, no. When, not if. When, not if. That's the way. Bitcoin will have an incredible setup. Yes, agreed. Alex Kruger saying, Operation Dump America continues. We're seeing historical moves on gold, up, bonds down. Somebody is dumping right now. Somebody, and that somebody maybe is China. Maybe it's another player like Japan, but somebody is big time right now dumping bonds and buying gold, like shit tons of gold, right? Like this is not retail buying gold. Like, John goes out and buys an ounce of gold. No. This is like somebody dumping $10 billion in bonds and buying $10 billion of gold. You got to remember, gold's what is it now, $25 trillion asset? Takes a lot of money to move that market, okay? The way that it's been moving recently. Now, before we get into the trade war, tariffs, and all that fun stuff, guys, if you're trading these cryptocurrency markets, I know you're trading these cryptocurrency markets. You want a great place to trade, you got to check out BitUnix. Now, look, this is an exchange that's available to everybody, everywhere. So I know a lot of you guys, you want to long those rips, you want to short those dips, but you don't have a good place to do it because the country you live in sucks for whatever reason. Or maybe you just haven't found an exchange you like yet. Well, this is available to everybody, everywhere, no KYC. Link down below. You'll get $10 for free just for starting your account. You're going to get deposit bonuses, $400 if you deposit $2,000, and up to $500 in trading bonus. They got all the top coins. They got your Bitcoin. They got your Ethereum. They got your fart coin, man. They got you covered. Go check it out. Link down below. Now, we did have a really good inflation news yesterday, but it was like the inflation news yesterday. It was like when, I don't know, you're walking down the street in the middle of a hurricane, you find $20 on the ground. You're like, that's great. I found $20. Oh, sign in my face and I'm dead because I got hit by a hurricane, man. It's kind of the thing. And nobody really cared about this inflation news. It should, in theory, be very, very, very bullish for the markets if we didn't have the tariff war going on. Holy shit. But we do have the tariff war going on. March CPI inflation falls to 2.4%. It was 2.8% last month. So this is actually even cooler than expected. The expectation was 2.5%. It went down to 2.4%. Inflation is not a problem anymore. And if we trust Truflation's numbers, which tend to be about 30 to 45 days ahead of the BLS, which gives the official inflation data over to the Fed, then inflation at the next release, I guess, mid-May, well, guess what? This could be under 1%. It could be under 2%, guys. That could be under 2%. At this point, the Fed is behind the curve. Jerome Powell is, at this point, I would say, playing politics. With that kind of an interest rate, inflation decline, the Fed doesn't have a lot of good reasons not to lower interest rates, especially in the face of a potentially weakening labor market. Will Jerome do it in May? Well, we got a month to find out, but man, he really should. He really should. President Trump says first tariff deal is very close. Now, I imagine when we get a tariff deal announced with a big player, now maybe Vietnam's big enough. I know there was a picture of Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary, meeting with the Deputy Prime Minister of Vietnam yesterday. They're working on a deal. We're going to get deals. Now we start seeing positive headline risk moving forward, where we start seeing deals get made and the market reacting positively to deals being made. So you're going to see Vietnam. You're going to see Canada. and a whole bunch of others cutting deals, signing deals. And then you're going to see an announcement that China and the USA are going to sit down, that Donald Trump's going to have a phone call with Xi Jinping, that they're going to meet in Hawaii or some bullshit and have like a multi-day meeting and work out a bunch of, and the market's going to love that shit. But we need to do this sooner than later, because you let all this craziness go on for too long. If you let the tariffs stay in place for too long, that has a real problem, because you start looking at having the potential of killing a lot of businesses in the USA. Now, look, confidence has been rattled, right? But it doesn't take too long for sentiment to swing back in the other direction, but you need the catalyst to start coming in. This is a potential catalyst. We need more. Woo Blockchain saying, according to Reuters, U.S. President Donald Trump stated on Thursday he's very eager to reach a trade agreement with China to end the escalating trade war. Trump made the remarks during a closed-door meeting that was open to the media. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent also noted at the meeting that as agreements are reached with various countries, trade policies become more stable and more predictable. Good. Fantastic. Joe McCann saying, how I'm viewing the market right now. Market was priced in for China, EU, and everyone else getting tariffed. Market now pricing only China. Market not pricing a China deal. And a China deal will come, because guess what? Both the United States and China need the deal. Nobody wants to lose face. Nobody wants to be embarrassed. But a deal needs to be made. Okay? Now you can think of a lot of great reasons why everyone's going to be fine from the breakup, okay? But divorces are never fun. Breakups are never fun. It fucks up the kids, okay? Like, come on, China and America, play nice. It's all going to be good. Make a deal. It makes everybody happy. Everybody can save face. Everybody can go home back to their base and say, we got to win. We went out and fought for our country. We got to win. That's what you need. And that's what we need both parties to come to agreement to. A China deal will be made. We'll see what that China deal ends up looking like. It might take longer than people expect to negotiate it, but it's coming. Joe goes on to say, if China deal comes, market explodes. If it doesn't, it's already priced in. 10-year was max bid by foreigners, reserve banks. That was yesterday's $64 billion in bonds were sold yesterday by the Treasury. So that all got bought up. There you go. People were worrying, oh, they're not going to buy all the bonds. Oh, they bought them. Reserve Bank telling Trump and Bessent, we'll buy your debt. The explosion on the long end is risk parity pods blowing up. Credit was max sold the past week. These pods are done. Very similar to the bottom during COVID. VIX traded at 60 on Monday, but failed to breach that today. Positioning, according to Deutsche Bank, was minus 0.73 Z-score, and net leverage, according to GS, dropped substantially. Goldman Sachs dropped substantially. They are all short. But today, long-only funds regrossed and shorts got covered. Very, very interesting. Market can only reprice higher. Dig it, Joe. Digging the bull vibes, man. Jamie Coots, look at this. This is a chart. This is a chart, man. Look at this. Oh, I'm dreaming about that tonight. Look at this. So, Yvonne says, don't listen to that guy. Anyone who is bullish at this point is either stupid as hell or misleading you on purpose. Decide which of the two Lark is doing. Thanks, Yvonne, for the nice comment, buddy. Hey, listen, here's the deal. We've been trying to provide you guys with the information, education that you need to make your own decisions, okay? And there's a lot of countervailing opinions on how things are going right now. As I have said repeatedly for weeks, and I guess at this point, months on end, everything is in a downtrend until otherwise proven, okay? That brings a lot of risk into the markets. Now, you're going to see overly bearish takes. For example, this guy, Stella Paris, saying we're going to go down to $35,000 for Bitcoin. Well, that assumes that there's going to be an absolutely horrific recession coming in. And hey, look, anything's possible, okay? But people tend to get overly bearish near market lows, and we could still see markets go down further. Sure, okay? We have not seen the strength of reversal come in yet. There are a lot of bullish narratives about why we could see a market reversal, from crypto-specific stuff like countries buying Bitcoin, all that sort of stuff, from the trade tariff war being resolved in the next few months, deals starting to be made, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, the central bank intervening, rates coming down, QT ending. A lot of things can get the market excited and cause a trend reversal here, okay? And you have to understand that. Until that happens, we're in a downtrend. Okay? Don't know how to make it much more clear. Now, anyway, here's some hopium for you. Some relentless damn hopium, man. Screw the bears. Jamie Coates. Beautiful, beautiful chart here. Global Liquidity Index. This is very interesting. So he's charting the breakouts on the Global Liquidity Index. So we saw back here, 2008, we had a 40% increase. 2015 to 19, we had a 21% increase. 2020, 2024 to, I guess, the end of 2021, early 2022, we had a 28% increase. What if we have a 1% increase this time for the next few years? Look where we are right now. Look where we are right now. Think about it. We have not even had a significant breakout. If I had a nice little line just draw it right across top here, because we're at resistance. When the breakout comes, guys, it will be massive. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have to absorb some absolute bullshit between now and when that comes, because you might. But the Global Liquidity Index, and this is different from the M2, okay? This is the Global Liquidity Index. It accounts for central bank easing and stuff like that as well, interest rates, etc. But still, think about it. Is this a market top? Was that the top of tops back in December, and we're never going to go higher than that again? Or are we at the cusp of, as soon as all this macro nonsense gets resolved, and that might take longer than people expect, maybe it takes months, maybe we don't see it till Q4, but then we're lined up. Look at it. We're lined up for massive moves higher. The guys over at Real Vision as well also predicting that we could see global M2 money supply pumping well into 2026 as well. So, hey, here's, holy shit, Bitcoin. Let's go. Yes. Back up to resistance at the 20-day EMA, just FYI. So there's that to take into account here. Currently, if you're going to get rejected somewhere, it is right effing here, right here. Okay. But we're on the verge of a daily engulfing bullish candle here. If we can close above that 20-day EMA, it's a nice start. But, you know, I say this as we're 2 hours away or 3 hours away whatever, from U.S. market open and Donald Trump getting out of bed, getting on his damn phone, starting to tweet some bullshit out. We'll see. This is a very, very headline-driven market right now. But Bitcoin has been wildly resilient. Wildly resilient, man. Look at this. Look at this chart. That's crazy. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff here, man. We have been standing strong in the face of one of the most uncertain times in global financial markets. I've been sleeping like a baby with my Bitcoin. It's been fantastic. Can't say much about all my altcoins, but hey, you know, that's how things go. Anyway, check this out, guys. This is very interesting. Now, again, the 20-day EMA, as you can see, has acted as resistance. Is also an area of previous price support here. So if there's going to be a place where we get rejected, it's going to be right here where we are right now. Watch out for short potentials on Bitcoin and altcoins. If we break out here, 200-day EMA is in sight at $85,000. If we take out the 200-day EMA, we are so effing back. We can maintain that, obviously. But that's the bull bear line. The 200 days, the bull bear line. Okay, that's that simple. Under the 200-day, we're bearish. Over the 200-day, we're bullish. Quite simple. So we've so far been under the 200-day EMA for a few weeks now. So we still got under there on 26th of February. It's now the 11th of April today. So about 2 months approximately hanging out under here. The question is, can we recover under there, or will the downtrend continue? We're going to find out over the next few days and weeks. If we can end April in the green, I think that gives a nice bit of, throws a nice big fat steak to the hungry bulls out here. I guess bulls don't eat steak, do they? That'd be kind of cannibalism. Anyway, besides the point. Maybe they're eating grass steaks. You know what I mean. Feeding the base here, okay? Giving people what they want. That would be a very nice sign if we can finish the month green. If we can recover the 200-day EMA by the end of the month, Okay. Remember, we just bounced off the 50-week EMA at 77K. That is the line of lines. You close a weekly candle under that, and it's probably good night for a while. You stay above that, that is just a wild, disgusting bull market correction. Again, we have macro shit we need to figure out. We're still in a downtrend, but that's my thoughts. Okay, continuing. This is posted by John Bollinger, the dude who literally invented the Bollinger Bands. He basically said, Bollinger Bands right now, pretty tight at the bottom. You can see the price of Bitcoin here at the bottom of the bands. You can see the Bollinger Band spread right at the bottom as well. So potential for a bounce coming in there. Which indicator to use for your EMA lines? Those are just the EMAs. You type in EMA on TradingView. I use 20, 50, and 200. I find those lines personally are the most interesting for me. Guys, if you're not in the Discord yet, go check it out. Jesse here posting some great alpha on ARK. If you still think that we're going to have a return for AI agents and stuff like that, well, ARK's one that's put in a lot of work. If you want to read some of our information on that, we're sharing stuff like this all the time, guys. Altcoins to check out. Meme coins. Jesse was just sharing that we got a 25x on what was it, Titcoin. I know. You thought fart coin is the new paradigm, honey. Boobs, man. Boobs and farts. It's all that's what meme coins are about in modern era, guys. Don't fight it, don't hate it. Just accept that that's the internet, and this is what we did. Anyway, crazy stuff. I'll link down below if you want to check it out. XRP has retaken the 200-day EMA. Very nice, XRP. I see you there. Now, if we get another move back to about $1.95, could be an interesting point for a long position, okay? Could be an interesting point. We'll see. If it can keep defending the 200-day EMA, been one of the strongest coins in the market by far. It's got an ETF probably coming sooner than later. I saw a news piece today that the Ripple labs in the SEC are basically almost done with all the stuff, and that there's probably the case is going to be fully settled, and they're going to repeal their appeals or whatever. So should be clearing up pretty soon. The ETF potentially by the end of the month. I think I don't remember what the exact day was, but Litecoin and XRP both have SEC approval denials coming up by the end of the month. Solana too, by the way, and the rumor has been XRP and Litecoin first, Solana a little bit after that. It's a more complicated asset perhaps. But anyway, watch for a $1.95 retest here, potentially for a long on XRP. If you lose the 200-day, short it down to, $1.80 or something like that. Wouldn't be surprised to see that happen either. But as long as Donald doesn't tweet out anything crazy, we're starting a trade war with Mars, guys. Those ancient aliens in the Sidonia Valley, man, getting away with the shit for way too long. Anyway, $1.95. Watch for a long potential there. Litecoin, I am looking for the breakout here. Okay, so you can see the downtrend line here. You can see the 20-day EMA approximately lining up with that. Now you might say, well, Lark, why not buy some Litecoin here? Why? Because it might get rejected here and go back down to 60 whatever bucks. I'm looking for a trade, okay? I'm not looking for a long-term spot bag, just hold on to Litecoin forever and pray for the price to go up. I'm looking for a trade here. And I think there's, again, you have the ETF coming. You break out beyond the 20-day EMA here, and it's still under the 200 days, so it feels a bit dicey buying it down there, to be fair. But at 80 bucks, let's say, if the charts can hold up, let's see. Lark, the goblins are here. I hate Goblin Town. Those guys are always trying to steal my wife and drink all my beer, man. Goblins. Can't trust them. Solana here, very close to the 20-day EMA. Again, to keep pointing this out, we've been talking about it for weeks, okay? 20-day EMA for most coins has been the point of rejection. Now, sometimes you get a day or two above and then blasted back down, but this is where you should look for rejections on any of your coins. Solana coming up here, area of rejection there, 20-day EMA hanging overhead. You see for the last few days, been struggling to get above it. That's either a logical place for a short on Solana, or if you see it take out above, let's say $120, that could be a long scenario for Solana. Okay, especially if the equity markets close the week strong. Maybe we get a good weekend run, for example. Okay, longs so far, and there's going to be a day when this is not true, but longs so far have been quite short because they're just relief rallies, right? So you can see a lot of the relief rallies we've had so far for Solana on the way down, right? We've had very small moves above the 20-day EMA. Nothing has held so far. So very contrarian bet to say, okay, now is going to be the big breakout moment, but we still could see a nice little run up to 137 or something like that before price corrects back down, for example. So just that's an interesting area to watch out for. SUI as well, basically looking the same as Solana right now, trying to break out above that 20-day EMA. And of course, man, it's crazy how many of these charts just trade almost lock in step with each other. Major area price resistance there. That was price support here, 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 here. Price resistance now lining up the 20-day EMA, which means longs have been quite short. Yeah. Sounds funny when you put it like that, Nick, but I mean, short duration, I should say. They don't last for a very long time. They get snuffed out pretty quickly. There we go. Make that a little more clear there. But glad I panic sold everything back in January. My man, good job. Now, when you buy him back is the case, because I saw you put 35K. Here's the question. Are you going to wait for 35K? Is that your buy thesis? You're going to stick to it? Or are you waiting for a reversal of the key EMAs? What's your thesis to get back in the market? It's an interesting thought for you as well. Like to hear it. Post it in the chat here, okay? Harsh thing. Sell a pair, you bought it. Yeah, well, you know, you don't need to post the same stuff time and time again, guys. But yeah, let me know what your rebuy plan is. You share with everybody here if you want. Fartcoin, obviously the mega new paradigm of money. And I'm just sharing this chart with you guys so I can just have a moment to cry to myself here and to cope a little bit. Got a beautiful entry right here, 33 cents. Beautiful. The best entry. Some might even call it the golden entry. Anyway, came up here, sold it right here around 43 cents because I was thinking, shit, okay. Look, it was a retest at the time of the 20-day EMA, but it was also a breakdown here. Just going to try to justify my my silly decision here. You can see it was also breaking down under the trend line. Everything else bled out like a motherfucker during that time, except Fartcoin. Except effing Fartcoin, man. Gosh darn it. Hilarious. I mean, I made money on it. It's fine. It's fine. But seriously, everything else bled out and got great entries. I was hoping, okay, it's gonna blast down here. I'll get to rebuy it at like 33 cents again, no problem. Boom. Well, nope. It's actually been a wildly strong coin. Broke out here, came back down, retested these EMAs. It did break down to about 35 cents. Looking at it around the time, I should have said, good enough, rebuy some damn stuff. Anyway, say Levy, breaking out much higher now. Now, that all being said, it is starting to finally get back into overbought territory. Seeing people on social media being like, it's the new paradigm of money and all that kind of stuff. So I will watch for either a pullback to like 55 cents, for example, or just accept that I missed it and I fumbled the bag. That's fine too. Okay. Holy cow. Just rambling on here. Ramble on. Was that Led Zeppelin song, man? Ramble on. Those guys were Lord of the Rings fans who listened to that song. It's like, oh shit, that's about the Hobbit, isn't it? It is. Lark, can you chart Avalanche? Where could it go? Before we get too ahead of ourselves here, think about where Avalanche could go. Why don't we just see where it is right now? That's probably a more useful conversation to have. When risk attitudes turn around at some point, higher. Avalanche is such a good blockchain, man. There's so much stuff going on over there. AVAX is way better as a blockchain than Ethereum. Controversial opinion, perhaps, but it is. Anyway, As you can see, I haven't actually charted this in a few days. Let's just extend the line here because it's still maintaining super validity. You can see downtrend well in effect. That orange line feels very, very valid with 1, 2, 3 major touch points so far on this rally currently that we're in. If you break out beyond 20 bucks, things might start getting a bit exciting. You can see here, though, 20-day EMA currently being challenged. Okay, I see you, Avalanche. Let's go. 20-day EMA currently being challenged. Let's see how that can play out here in the next few days, if it can actually maintain above there or not. MACD flipping bullish on the daily here as well. This remains the line to beat. You get back over 20 bucks, things start getting interesting for Avalanche. But I don't think that Avalanche or really any other altcoin, whether that be SUI or whatever, is not just going to magically go to the effing moon. None of these coins are fart coin, okay? None of this is fart coin. Fart coin can magically go to the moon because hot air rises. Other coins, they're just regular coins who have to deal with regular realities of people risk offing during tariff fears and stuff like that, okay? But maybe we see a turnaround in some of these things right here. Let's keep an eye out for it. Okay. But right now, I mean, how far can go this bull run? Let's see a trend reversal before we start thinking about how high we're going to go on the next move. But yeah, for now, let's just see if we can actually get a breakout. But whether it's Avalanche or any other coin, everything remains in a downtrend until proven otherwise. And breakouts so far are probably things to be faded and shorted at obvious rejection points like 20 or 50-day EMAs, for example, until we hit an eventual bottom and things start reversing adequately. Maybe Bitcoin breaks out and drags the rest of the altcoin market up with it. It has been wildly strong over this whole crash here, but I don't think we're going to get any sort of really significant moves on the cryptocurrency market until we see some kind of cooling of tensions around what's going on with the trade war stuff. You got to realize, guys, we are going through one of the biggest global financial shakeups, we could say, that we've seen in a very long time. Global bond markets are dysfunctioning massively. Foreign currencies are trading like shit coins out here. It's going nuts. The fact that Bitcoin's still over $80,000 is bonkers, and I love it. I love to see it. You love to see it too. But that doesn't mean that the market's just going to go magically make a risk on. In fact, the market's very much going risk off. They're buying gold, right? They're dumping treasury bonds. They don't even trust U.S. debt anymore. Lark, what do you think about Altcoin? You know, I have no idea, but it reminds me of the time that I interviewed, oh my gosh, I don't know, wow, then Akon, that's right. I mean, I interviewed Akon. It's been a wild time being a YouTuber. When I interviewed Akon, man, just reminded me of that song, Smack That, all on the floor. Classic song, man. Classic song. I have no idea what he ever did with this crypto stuff, or if he's still into crypto or not, but yeah. You laugh, you know, guys, but at the end of the day, if what you're buying makes money, that's why fart coin, for example, like you can't buy something called fart coin mirror. You know what? If you make money, screw it. I don't care. Make money doing whatever you do. You buy tit coin, you buy ass coin, penis coin, whatever. I don't care. The only good news so far is that meme coins are finally dying. You know, meme coins are not. I got bad news for you, man. Meme coins are not going to die. Because you know why? Human greed's not going anywhere. It's not. Now, will meme coins be the exact same in the future as they were in the last few months? No. But meme coins aren't going away. Why? People love to gamble. People love to speculate. Yes, meme coins are the farthest end of the risk spectrum in the cryptocurrency market, and they got absolutely devastated. But they'll be back. Now, most of the meme coins are going to go to zero. That was always going to be their fate. Some meme coins, whether like Dog with Hat and Pepe, and obviously Fart Coin, these things are going to pop back. Most of the coins go to zero. New ones come. Penis coin will be the next big one that comes out, right? The big one. Lark, what are you thinking about why none of the CoinGlass top indicators are fired off yet? Not a single one. Because we're not at the top, Gary. We're not at the top. That's why. Now, it's a tricky situation because obviously $109,000 is a very strong local top, right? Will it be the end of all things top and we go into a 4-year bear market? And remains to be proven. I mean, look, if they keep pushing this stuff like crazy for a long time and the trade war lasts a year and then we have a recession and shit just hits the fan, we don't have any real market rally of any extreme significance beyond just big relief rallies, perhaps, certainly no new all-time highs until next year or something like that. But that all remains to be seen. Trade tensions can lower a lot quicker. Just the same way it ramped up real fast, it can also cool down real fast. No, really. 109 was the great local top. And we talked about that for a long time. I should have flipped a lot more money out than I did. And look, I sold some altcoins to define. At the end of the day, could have done better, whatever, screw it. But 109 was the local top. We talked about that as being the sort of 1.618 line on the Fibonacci chart as an interesting area for that's where local tops one's going to be. Then we're going to have a consolidation phase. Consolidation phases last a lot longer than I thought it would. And of course, now we have this trade war, which has shaken things up quite a bit. And we'll see how it all plays out. But if we get a resolution to the trade war, if Donald Trump does not cause a recession, if global M2 pumps, we're at the bottom of the business cycle, inflation's cooling, rate cuts are coming, quantitative easing is going to end. There's so many tailwinds that can push the market higher later this year. Then we start hitting some of these top indicators. How is Fartcoin higher than GigaChad? Because even the GigaChad farts, man, and everybody knows that. Acon, I remember. What's your hat connected to? It's just plugged into a USB for power. Thoughts on abstract chain? No, I haven't thought about it very much, to be honest. Struggle just psychologically dealing with going and trying to farm these new airdrops. Just What do Dave Portnoy, Shitcoin, Fartcoin, and Askcoin have in common? Riddles. I like it. Greed is good. Gordon Gekko. Great movie, by the way. R.I.P. Mech. Oh, dude. That was, fun that I got to spend 30 minutes of my life with John McAfee, man. What a character. Holy shit. The crypto space a little bit less bright without him in it, man. And I know he just hey, have you guys heard? Apparently they're trying to do a John McAfee not a documentary, but like a life story movie with Nicolas Cage in it. Oh yeah, heard about that the other day. I was like, oh really? Oh, that's interesting. WIF isn't going to pop back. Maybe it doesn't. I feel like if one is going to pop back, it's going to be WIF. And there's going to be a lot of new meme coins that come out. And again, we're not talking about the meme coins that just never went to like do anything, got beyond maybe a couple $1 million market cap. We're talking about the meme coins that actually got big, like multi-billion dollars or multi-$100 million meme coins. The vast majority of those are not like Moo Dang and Peanut. Like they're not funny. They're not cute. I mean, Moo Dang's fat and stinky now. What are these memes? They're not, Fartcoin's at least funny. It's funny. It's absurd. I get it. I resonate with it, which pisses me off that I sold it for 25% profits. But anyway, you guys, I will be like the Gary V of crypto as this thing goes to $10. I just bitch about it the whole time. Like he bitches about he could have bought Uber at Seed back in the day. Anyway. Hey, Crypto G's, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for the comment. Thoughts on Ponke? I have no idea about buying the meme coin Ponke, but man, those guys create hilarious videos. So respect for that. I like that. Will AI 16Z bounce back? Fingers crossed. Let's hope so. Holy shit. Look, the dev. Fucking dev. The dev is needs to stay off podcasts and really just out of doing anything in public and just build. The ELIZA framework is very popular. AI agents are dead at the moment, effectively across crypto. There's some big stuff going on. Theta's got a whole bunch of really big partnerships with like big household name brands coming out. Virtuals launched. I think there was. I didn't go and look at myself personally, but I saw somebody post a chart that said Virtuals had launched like literally like one agent in the last week, which was insane. At the peak, it was launching like hundreds of agents a week. Now it's like one in a week. AI agents will come back. I think it's a pretty cool niche within crypto, but yeah. Stacy, what's up? You are not dead, sir. You're not. I see you. You are alive. Can we see Cardano and Bitcoin merging together? No. So did Smoking Chicken Fish. I'm down bad on that. Yeah, that was a bust. Lost. Nice chunk of money on that. I had the pleasure of conversing with John on a few occasions. He was everywhere at one point and has had his hands on literally every project. He's a character, man. Absolute character. It's never just late to fart, Lark. I know. I just need to go over myself and buy some, but I don't. Gosh darn it! It's overbought. Have to listen to rationality. I know Fartcoin is a rational asset. It is the new paradigm of money. I understand, but it's overbought on the daily. It's overbought on the daily. It's going to come down. It's going to come down, Lark. Okay, what are you up to here? Any tips on swing trading fit crypto? I feel like it's so frustrated. Wait for setups to come to you. Don't try to force it. Every time I break my rules and try to force a trade, or some just every damn time I end up regretting that. Wait for trades to come to you. Okay, set up a simple system. The reason I talk about like the 20 and 50 day and 200-day EMAs, the MACD and the RSI and stuff like that, because I find it's just a very simple way for me to look at the markets and understand where momentum's going, all that kind of stuff. So try to, if you're doing swing trading, let's say you're doing the 4-hour charts, okay? Look to buy positions on strong coins when they're oversold on the 4-hour charts. On the RSI, look to sell them when they're overbought. Ideally, if you can get a nice confirmation of a MACD bullish crossover near a bottom, then you can look to sell with a MACD bearish crossover near the tops. Use your EMAs, 20, 50, 100, 200 periods to watch out for strength and losing momentum and stuff like that as well. Can help you get interesting entries and hopefully get out with decent amounts of profit in your hand. But yeah, be patient. That's probably one of the most important things. Jupiter all-time. Is it really at the all-time low? That's crazy, man. Everything's getting wrecked. Virtuals listing on Binance. Good night, Virtuals. Good night. You had a moment in time, but that'll all be lost now as the Binance market makers suck every last penny of liquidity out of this thing. No, I don't know. They listed it on spot, not perpetuals. If you see your favorite coin get listed on Binance perpetuals, that thing's gonna fucking crater, man. Especially when markets are bullish. Every effing time. Every effing time. John never got an opportunity to honor his word. How about eating his dick? Well, you know, the whole suicide thing, it's a bit fishy, isn't it? You think he just went and, faked his own death in order to get out of eating his own dick live on TV? Men have done crazier things. Fartcoin too. Uranus. It said Uranus, guys. Okay, let's not be silly about it. It's Uranus, named after, what is it? The Greek god Uran, right? Anyway, oh shit, we're up to 45 minutes. Okay, one or two more here, guys. We're gonna finish up. Have you looked into the BitTensor subnet ecosystem? Not very much, and I'm not active in any subnets. Camera all agreed. Tired of Fartcoin. Well, it made money, guys. One of the few coins that did really well in the market recently. So, you don't have to like things. Just as the way it is. Paxkey is good. Paxo's gold. Yeah, well, it's a good efficient way if you're not gonna have the physical coins, gold bullions or coins or bars, whatever yourself. Something like Paxos Gold's actually not a bad option. It's a pretty cost efficient way to hold gold on chain because if you have coins stored in a vault, like I was paying 1.5% on my gold coins in a vault back in New Zealand. Like that adds up, man. That adds up. I bet Larkcoin says Fartcoin 100x every episode. Well, when you guys keep talking about it, okay. All right. Well, we seriously gotta finish the stream up here, guys. Been going on for too long. PPI and oh shit, yeah, we didn't even talk about the PPI, the purchasing index, purchaser price index is coming out in 45 minutes. My guess is that'll, I actually have no idea about that. There was so much buying in the last month. We'll see. Could be a distorted number, but hopefully that also has come down, indicating that inflation for CPI is going to be down next month as well. Fingers crossed. All right, we're finishing there. You guys are awesome. Have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday for more good times, another stream. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you then. Peace.